Hello there, this is my first felting video to put on my new YouTube channel, so bear with me. I'm just learning how to do all this. So I thought I would show you how to make a fairy fabric. Essentially I've made a couple of wee fays, needle felted, and it's for a course I'm running this July, and I wanted to make some fabrics that people could cut up and clothe their fays in. So I thought about cobwebs, bark, roots, leaves, that kind of thing. So I'm going to try and make some nice thin felt fabrics for them to use during the course. So I'll swap you down to the action rather than looking at me all the time. So I'm using just the one colour of merino wool. I'll untangle it first of all. It's important to get it all straight. Now I normally go in one direction first of all and then another direction secondly, but because I want to keep this quite thin, I'm going to use a technique I just learned on an online felting camp. It's a kind of cross hatch, so you go diagonally one way and then the next line you go against it. So I'll try it out and see how it works. Hopefully it will make a lovely fine fabric fit for a fae. So then go that way there. I don't want to make too much, just enough to give you an option how you want to dress your fae. The wind is coming in now. It's such a nice day. I've left the door open and the wind is blowing across my table, fighting me. So just continue laying it out with thin fibres, like so. Okay, maybe do another one. Wafty wind. So after this I will pop on some gorgeous art yarn that I have stashed away from a fibre artist down south. She dyes and weaves her own yarns and they're absolutely gorgeous. I took it from this. So I thought it looked like gnarly twigs and trees and what you would find on the forest floor. And I'm just going to lay some on top in random directions. In fact, I might actually just cut it up as well. So if you're using, please excuse the noise, that's my husband out cutting the grass on his tractor, doing his Farmer Steve thing. It's a gorgeous day outside, so it's just hopped on. And so when you're using yarns, it's a good idea, if you're going to overlap, just overlap once. Don't overlap too many times or your yarn may start flapping about. It will not felt in tidily to your merino. So hopefully this will give us a nice thin fabric with interest using the yarns here and there. I want to give enough of the yarn that you can see it in every piece of cloth that you make, because obviously I don't know how people are going to cut out on the course. Snip that to you. Some down here. Okay, then you grab your doofer or your browser, scoosh up some soapy water, just made with warm water and olive oil, and gently spray over this. Probably twice, since we're using yarn as well. You want it to be nice and soggy. Here comes Farmer Steve again. Take your second piece of bubble wrap. Get your hands nice and soapy and compress. You just want to make sure that the water goes right through to the bottom of the fabric. Don't move in any direction or you'll be moving the fibres underneath that you've just painstakingly laid down. You soap up your hands just so they glide over the bubble wrap and not drag. This helps prevent you moving about what you've just laid out on the table. Have a peek. Check for any bubbly areas, which suggests that you need a wee bit more water. Check that you're happy with the design as well before you start rubbing. I would rub this for a couple of minutes just to make sure that the wool starts to attach to the base merino wool as well. I would also soap up my bubble wrap, as that introduces soap into the fabric. Compress again, make sure that we're all good to go. At this point you could tidy up your loose ends, so you would do this by using your bubble wrap, the bottom one, and you would just fold it over. Don't fold over too much of the edges because you don't want to create a thickness at the edge. You just want to capture all the little wispy bits. And just do the same on each side. You could always add more merino if you've got gaps in your design and you want to put more merino at this point before you start rubbing and rolling. So I would dry my hands first. It's always best to dry your hands before working with your merino wool. And then I would put some more just around this area here, this side bit, this top edge. We're fine down here, put a wee bit down here as well. Okay, give it a wee squishy. You're in absolutely no rush to get this done. This is why I like taking my time, making sure that I like what I've put down there before I start working it. Because if you change your mind, you've got a wee bit of time to change your mind, but you're best being happy with your layout and the fabric that you're about to create before moving on. And what's the rush? You know, just enjoy what you're doing. It's almost like a meditation. You start to lose yourself in the process when you start rubbing the fabric to adhere all the bits and pieces to the base. I put on an audiobook to listen to as well. It's just bliss, absolute bliss. You just lose yourself for a good couple of hours, making whatever you want to make. It's colour therapy as well. So again, I would just tidy up my edges. I did before, using your old bubble wrap. You could always use bamboo roll, you know, the kind of sushi roll type stuff, but it is more aggressive. It's less forgiving if you make a mistake and then you go too far, because it is quite an aggressive form of felting and fooling. So when you're starting off wet felting, I would just use bubble wrap, to be honest. It gives you more time to change any oopsies or, you know. But if you do find yourself getting tired, then it is a way of continuing on and making the whole process quicker. Okay. Oh, here comes Daddy off his tractor. So I'll pause just now. I'll pop it back up. Hello. And I'll show you the next process in a moment. Thank you.